quarter just about to start. Nardolillo from shotgun has Beers in the flat. He's got a lot of blockers, and he's got a first down. He may get a measurement. It looked to me that he obviously had a first down, but then when Nichols came up and drove him back, it may have been enough to prevent the necessary yards for a first down. We'll take a look at the tail end of it.
This is a wide open play. What's happening here is they put the twins out here, and Summit gave them 10 yards. So John Bauer said, hey, you throw that quick screen out there and let that young man run with the football.
Things have narrowed a little bit, yet Randolph maintains the statistical advantage. The turnover, the 5th of the game, the only one of the second half, hurting Randolph as Summit converted it into a score.
The interesting thing is 8 first downs for Randolph, 7 first downs for Summit. And the yardage is a lot different, but the first down categories is much, much tighter.
Summit had the ball for almost the entire third quarter. They had that one drive that was aided by the roughing the punter. A couple of plays later, they intercept the ball and they drive to score. And does that have an effect?
It sure does. But here's that wide open offense again. Now watch the up back, the blocking back. He looks for his place in the defense that's open. There goes Nardolillo running the ball, keeping his balance. He's loose.
And finally, Fioli knocks him out near the 20-yard line. So a 27-yard run for Matt Nardolillo. That time he held on to the ball.
Take a look at the way this young man runs. Now, he stopped here. When he gets hit, right up here, he's going to get converged on by a couple of defenders. Right here. Bang, bang. Other man from the outside. Nobody wraps their arms around him. They're trying to knock him down with their heads and shoulders with no arms. And he gets loose, and they have to run him down on the other. Randolph is coming back in this ball game quickly.
Ball at the 20. 1st and 10. Now, when you go to that wide open offense and you have 4 receivers, 2 on each side, the defense has to respect that. They've got to send men back deep. They've got to cover so many lanes that when you have a good running quarterback like Nardolillo, that's just another arsenal, another weapon in the arsenal.
Well, I didn't know he could run as well as he does. But boy, that kid, you know, there are several philosophies in coaching. One of them is you take your best athlete, make him the quarterback, and build a team around him. Another is your best athlete is your tailback. You give him the ball all the time. But this young man has shown that he has the ability to do a lot of things, and he has changed my mind about who he is.
Here's Beers tripped up in the backfield by Paisler. And that'll make it 3rd down. He gained about a half yard as he fell forward. So it'll be 3rd and about 6. 5 turnovers hurting Randolph. That 5th one leading to Summit's only score. With 10:42 to play in the game, Summit leads 7-6. But Randolph marching. Beers is their field goal kicker. He has only attempted 1. That was last week against Roxbury. He's 1 for 1. Nardolillo coming left side. And let's see whether or not he has picked up the first down. Nichols came up and made the tackle. And it is a first down inside the 10-yard line.
What a great ball game, Matt. Nardolillo now is taking over offensively, taking command. Let's watch him here as he legs it out and almost gets by Nichols' bump here. Nichols couldn't really wrap his arms around him because he was worried about staying with him. A lot of room to the right. You know, Nardolillo handed off to Figuarelli there and bootlegged, and he was by himself. There's a great deal of room to the right side. Let's take a look at him now, when he hands off. He fakes that he has it. Nobody followed him. If he'd have kept the ball, he could have walked in. Let's see if they pick that up. Ball at the 4-yard line.
Nardolillo tries to take it over the guard spot himself, wrestled to the ground. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Boy, they're on, you know, this is one of the games. We don't have any coaches up here with us. We've got a radio broadcasting crew and some spotters, but the ground level shot here of what the possibilities are is very, very explicit. Look at this play by the defense trying to stop that quarterback sneak. Again, if I had coaches here, I'd say run the bootleg. It's wide open.
3rd down. Nardolillo fires to the air. Down. Dan Beerle wide open. And Randolph, striking quickly following the Summit score, has gone up on top, 12-7.
Just when Summit looked like they had gotten the momentum, Randolph comes back and just shoves it right down their throats. This time, Nardolillo straightens up and hits the wide man after threatening to run with the ball. It sucked up the defenders. Nichols came up close, and they threw right behind him for the touchdown.
They'll go for 2.
This is an important play.
Two-point conversion.
A 5-point game. A touchdown gives Summit the lead, irregardless of what they do with the placement. Second time they've gone for 2 on the pass, and second time they have come up short. So 8:51 to play, and Summit trails by 5, 12-7.
Well, what it does, Matt, is a touchdown gives Summit the lead. A lot of complications can occur then. A 2-point conversion would make it a field goal game. 1-point conversion would allow Randolph to get back in it with a field goal. A lot of things can happen, but Summit's got to cross that goal line again. I'm not sure they'll be able to do it as easily as they did the last time they scored. Who knows? We might have an offensive show here in the second half. Both clubs have been out there battling. The coaches are very, very intelligent in the adjustments they've made, both offensively and defensively. You've got 11 young kids out there executing.
Wells, number 25, the kickoff for the Rams.
Kickoff.
Fioli, Parker,
Fioli, Nichols, and Parker are back deep for the Hilltoppers. 8:41 to play in regulation. Squibber and Paisley. And Paisley brings it out to the 38-yard line. So Summit has good field position to operate trailing by 5 as time is starting to be a factor. 9-play, 59-yard drive, and Beerles with the touchdown pass from Nardolillo. Nardolillo's run of 27 yards, key play, plus his bootleg for a first down. Those 2 runs were critical.
What a great ball game this has been, Matt. It really has been. Everything was billed to be. We're certainly glad we'll be able to bring it to you, our audience.
Taylor will throw. First time all year. It's tipped and caught by Fioli, and he's got a first down across midfield.
Fioli with a one-handed catch. I don't know if we could see it as well from our camera angle as we could from here, but the ball is tipped and Fioli just reaches out and pulls it in. Paisley hasn't been the thrower. It's been Fioli. He looks, he throws, it's batted into the air. Now let's see this one-handed snatch. Grabs it, pulls it in, and starts running. And I'll tell you, we've been treated to some outstanding plays here in this ball game.
Ball just inside midfield, 1st and 10. Up the gut they go. It's Paisley, and he is close to a first down. So, hey, how do you do? These teams have been seemingly able to move the ball at will.
And I'll tell you, Matt, this place is packed. There are a lot of people just standing up on the stands along the hills that surround this stadium. There are people standing all around at the fences. Both sides are packed. And, boy, these folks have really gotten their money's worth so far.
We hope our viewers are enjoying this game. Ball at the 41-yard line, 2nd and 1. Here comes Parker in motion. They'll give it to Paisler, and Paisler has the first down. Sandler and Figarelli combining for the stop, but it is a first down. 7:06 to play. Fourth quarter, Randolph leads 12-7. Ball is at the 36-yard line.
Parker's in the game, Matt, at the right slot. See if we run him to the left.
Yes, we do. And he gets about 5 before Sandler was able to get his shoulder on him and force Parker to the ground. Guida will now come in replacing Parker. First time we've seen Parker in there on successive downs.
I'll tell you what's happening. Sutherland, when he sees Parker on his side, he yells over to Schultz, number 81, and Schultz gets very wide, doesn't let Parker go outside, forces Parker to run up inside of the defensive end and into the pursuit. And that's the adjustment that Randolph has made to Parker being in the ballgame.
2nd and 5. And it's Paisler up the middle. And he'll be just short of a first down, but it'll be 3rd and short. Less than 6 minutes to play in this North 2 Group 3 state championship game.
Paisler is the man that can lug that ball. That time he was stopped and he twisted for another 1.5 yards. And in this situation, with 1.5 yards needed, he'd be the man I gave the football to.
3rd and about 2.
John Randolph, the Randolph coach, John Bauer on the sideline looking a lot more concerned.
Paisler, the ball comes free, and it's Randolph's ball. Paisler trying the extra effort, and the ball swerved free right into the hands of Tony Michella.
Wow, there was a pile up. Paisler was trying to jump out of the arms of the fellas who had his ankles, and the ball comes loose. Let's take a look at it. This is a key play in the ball game. Look at him trying to jump over and jump and jump and twist, and somebody's helmet comes up, and it's a jump ball in the middle of a pile of people. Randolph comes up with the fumble recovery. 5 minutes on the clock. They're leading the ball game.
Looking for the state championship. Sandler still going. Looked like his knee hit the ground when Nichols made the stop, but the official was right there, said no way.
His knee looked like it touched, and as you said, Matt, Nichols made the pop.
See if the knee
Look
touched.
closely. No, it didn't. His knee touched the helmet and shoulder pads of Nichols. Great call by the official. Right on the spot. Gave Randolph that extra 5 yards. That would have been no gain, but he kept his balance. His knees went onto the shoulder pads of Nichols and got himself 5 more yards.
2nd and 6. Beerles short of the first down by about a half a yard. 3rd down and short. 4:46 to play in the contest.
All Randolph has to do now is chew up some yardage and some clocks, and they go for the crown. 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and counting down. Randolph on the move on the ground. Summit helpless unless they can get the ball.
Sandler has the first down as he gets across the 35-yard line. Guida made the tackle. The clock will stop as they move the chains. 4:18 to play. Summit has all of its timeouts remaining. Randolph has utilized 1.
Ticking down to 4 minutes left in the football game. Randolph with a 1st and 10 around their own 40.
Figarelli lowers his shoulder, pulls his way for about 4. And the clock will continue to run. Don't look for a pass here. Don't look for an outside run where the player can be driven out of bounds. Run it up the gut. Keep the clock moving.
3.5 remaining as the Randolph squad holds hands in the huddle as Nardolillo looks over for the signal for what play he's going to run on second and about 7.
Nardolillo will keep it himself, and he's got the first down and more as he gets into Summit territory. Across the 45-yard line, and new life for Randolph. Another first down. Clock stops once again as they move the chains. 3:03 to play.
And Matt Nardolillo has taken over this football game for the Randolph Rams.
And now we have a timeout called as looks like it's Todd Formicella is tightening up his knee brace on his left knee. And that's the way we stand with 2:35 to play. And Summit calls time. 2:28 to play. The Hilltoppers use their first timeout.
Well, Howie Anderson has decided, and very smartly, Matt, to down runs in the last seconds of some situations.
Second down and 8. Sandler, the fullback, is inside the 40, short of the first down, and Summit calls its second timeout. So third down and about 4. Summit will have to stop them twice. They have one more timeout remaining. 2:23 to play in the game. And if Randolph gets a first down, it's all over. Now, that saves Summit a timeout. Clock stops with 2:18 to play. It'll be fourth down and about 3.
On that play, Mike Figurelli, number 32, had his hands draped all around Todd Nichols as Nardolillo came around on the keeper.
Huge advantage for Randolph on the ground.
Decided to kick the ball.
Well, I guess you figure we've only given up 7 all afternoon. Let them try and drive maybe 90 yards for a score with 2:18 to play. Beerle's the punter. Gets it off cleanly. And Fioli lets it go. And it'll die inside the 5 down to the 2-yard line. So Summit's got to go 98 yards for a score with 2:08 to play and just one timeout.
Danny Beerles waited for the exact right moment to put a ball dead on the 2-yard line. And Summit has, it must look like a mile to them and uphill with 2:08 on the board, one timeout left, and a basically running offense. We already see the Randolph defenders very, very deep. Matt Nardolillo about 30 yards off the line of scrimmage, and 2 halfbacks about 15 off.
Williams will go to the air. Looking for Paisler. He's got him for a first down across the 20-yard line. That'll stop the clock as they move the chains. 1:46 to play.
Williams got his footing on that play. Watch him now. He'll just roll out, fake that handoff coming back, and set his back foot, throw the ball, and Paisler found that soft spot behind the linebackers and underneath the deep coverage.
Ball at the 22. Williams will throw once again under pressure. Incomplete. Looking for Nichols. Sandler off the deflection almost had an interception. Clock stops with 1:32 to play. Second and 10. Summit does have one timeout left, but they've got a long way to go.
Second and 10 from the 21.
78 yards between them and victory.
You see the Summit offense in the huddle. Some of those guys are praying for a miracle right now. Anything. Defender fall down, touchdown pass.
Williams has not thrown often. He'll be called to pass a lot now. They've got Nichols over the middle, and Nichols is across the 45 to the 46. The clock will stop once again as they move the chains. 1:25 to play. Summit moving the ball through the air, something that is not their style, but something they are doing here late in the game.
Great job by Todd Nichols. This is the young man that dropped that bomb all by himself in the first half. It was a great job catching the ball. Almost split the defenders. Not much time was used in that play. There's the timeout pass.
1:17 to play. They used up some time, as with the tackles bringing in the play, Wagschlag a little slow in getting off. Keith Williams had to wait for him and then just threw the ball out of bounds. So 2nd and 10 with the ball at the 41-yard line.
I'll tell you, these Summit games don't go away early because you never know with this club. And Randolph the same way. They've battled this Summit club tooth and nail right down here to the last minute and 17 seconds of the ball game. The fans have all stayed here. They're yelling and screaming on both sides. This is what high school football is all about.
Williams has time. The hook and ladder to Paisler. Paisler, as a flag is thrown. Now let's see what the call is. Paisler may have wanted to go inside.
It looked like a forward lateral. They might call a forward lateral here.
That's the call.
Paisler made the mistake of going to the inside. He should have stepped out of bounds.
Doesn't matter because it was a forward lateral.
Let's see. How forward was it, boy? If it wasn't much, if it was at all. I don't know. I don't know. Nichols was being driven backwards and Paisler was running up. What happened was Nichols couldn't get it out of his hands quick enough because a Randolph defender wrapped his arms around him. We'll look at it again. Here's the pass. He gets it. He wants to throw it out. He can't because somebody's there. Bounces.
Looks forward. Anyway, it's a 5-yard penalty from the point of infraction, but it is loss of down. So it's 3rd and 8. They picked up a yard. They go screen to Fioli. Trips up. Bill Banks making the tackle. It'll be 4th and long. And Summit is forced to call its last timeout with 47 seconds to play. First, otherwise Randolph takes over and runs the clock out.
And I would double cover Todd Nichols.
They go screen to Fioli. And he is short of the first down.
And not by much, but enough to give the ball back to Randolph and hand them the crown.
They were hoping for the first down via the screen up the middle, figuring that the clock would stop as they moved the chains, and that would give them another opportunity. They come up short. 37 seconds remain, and Randolph will be the North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 state champion. Nardelillo falls on it. Summit cannot stop the clock. Less than 25 seconds to play. They mark the ball ready for play, but we will not see another play run here. Summit will end its year at 8-3, and they'll have many memories to treasure. But as we said at the top of the show, Al, when you lose in the state championship game, it's a bitter pill to swallow, no matter how successful your year had been to date.
Your heart has to go out, Matt, to those Summit players and to those Randolph players. They've gone through an experience that not many people walking around on this earth have experienced in their lifetime. They've been in a championship ball game and battled tooth and nail down to the last seconds. There are the coaches out in the middle of the field shaking hands, two venerable coaches who have done a great deal of good for the game of football, the youth of this state, and have been a showcase for what high school athletics is all about.
12-7. is the final score as Randolph captures the North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 state championship, ending their year at 10-1. We'll take a short break. We'll come back. Stay with us. The North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 state championship. John Bauer, one of our guests on the post-game show, will be joined by Matt Nardolillo and Dan Beerles in just a moment. And, Coach, congratulations on the state championship. A great capper to a fine season.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I really enjoyed this. You know, it's somewhat anticlimactic for me, but I got into it this week about Wednesday, you know, after our Roxbury game, a big rivalry kind of thing game, and then followed with the state playoff game. But it means a great deal to the kids. You know, the playoffs are very important to them. I think they get on that ego trip a little bit, you know. It's we're playing someone else now kind of thing, and I'm very happy for them. It's a hard-working group, and they deserve the best.
Summit controls the ball for most of the third quarter. They score the touchdown that puts them ahead. At that point, what do you say to your troops on the sideline?
Well, I didn't think they really controlled it. I think we gave it back to them.
The penalty did help, sure.
Yeah, they got I could be rough the kicker. We did a few things there that gave them a second chance, and you don't give a good team like Summit a second chance, you know. So there were things of that nature that took place. They got an interception. They're responsible for the interception. I can't say we gave them that. They took that, and as a result, they had decent field position. I felt the defense did an outstanding job all game, because those are two people that gained, what, 800 and 700 yards between them. And they had a hard time functioning here, you know. And I was pleased with that. I was pleased with the defensive team defensive play.
Coach, you've had several outstanding teams in your 21 years at Randolph. Where does this club rank?
Oh, they're up among the top. You know, they're one of the top 5, top 6 people that we've had. You know, it's very hard to compare teams for the simple reason that you never know if you get in the field. That's one nice thing about the playoffs. You know, you don't know. Summit beat Linden, they beat Union. You know, what does that make us? You know, I'm saying that that's not fair. You don't know till you play someone. You're not sure. I'm happy that when we play someone that we do a good job with them, and I was pleased with that, because when you play someone strange, you don't know whether you're going to match up well at all, what's going to happen, and you could just well get blown out of the ballpark as be in it, you know, so that this was a nice, fine victory for the boys and for the program.
Well, congratulations to you and your team for the victory. 12-7 state champs. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Oh, I will. Thank you very much.
All right, John Bauer, the head coach of Randolph. Now Dan Beerles joins us. And Dan, I spoke to you just briefly before the game. As a sophomore, you were in the playoffs, losing to Rawway.